on 31st of January. I've decided to have a trip down the plot just to sort of prepare myself for what I'm about to face this year. So it's a bit of a state. I spent about half hour propping some of the fence up because some of the fence was laying down. The fruit cage was a bit twisted, so I've just jammed things a bit so to try and prop it up until weather permits. So we'll have a look around my swamp of a plot. But it'll come right in the end. It's just there's a bit of work, a lot of work to do this year, a bit of expense to. I've got to get the fence done this year and do some repairs because they're beyond salvaging now. So it's a case of strip out and put in new. So it's just getting access to some funds and get some timber in. So I'll take the camera around. I've got my microphone tucked out a little bit of the way, but it is pretty windy today. So I'm not going to be stopping down alongside. Just came down to have a bit of make a mental note, maybe make some notes of what needs doing, but I think it's pretty much everything needs doing. It's a daunting task, but nevertheless, it's the way it goes. So I'll turn the camera around and we shall have a look. Right, so this is a view out of my shed doorway. So the shed's not too bad, but it needs a bit of tidying here, but it's got some timber posts. I bought some timber posts for the fence. Well, I've got some. I need about another 5 or 6 posts. And it's just all the timber railing I need, really. And a couple of days to actually do it. Because I've had the net for a while, so it's just this timber railing, so I need to price that up. No point doing it right now, I might as well do it into the season a little bit, because it's just going to get all waterlogged now. Fruit cage, like I say, I don't know whether you can hear me, but I've patched that up best I can. It's like bits of timber here and here, because it was all leaning towards me, so I couldn't open the door, so I had to push it backwards to open the door. So these cross bits of timber here to try and help brace it. And there's many directions I've got some leftover timber for. It's all kind of half rotten timber, really. But yeah, I don't know, you can see down the side there, it's a bit wobbly. It's sturdy now, I've got some timber on it, but so this for all the field beans that I put in. I was hoping to cover over, but no, I'm not going to be able to. I'll just hold them off and dig them in when I do the dig, which is going to be when the ground lets me. It's just far too wet at the moment. Asparagus frame, I need to strip that off, and I mean, I've got up until probably June to do that because the asparagus will just grow, and I think what I'll do later, once the asparagus is kind of before it gets too tall, I'll re-edge this bed if I've got enough money to get some timber. Compost bin's still standing though. I've restrapped some of my nets up because they were all over the place, but it's getting like another gale again. So I've restrapped these nets as well. Yeah, it's very wet, and it's a bit, I don't know, pushed off a bit, but nevertheless it's what I've got to work with. So if you've got one of these plots that's nice and crumbly this time of year, I really envy you, because I get this every year here. But it's just one of those things. You know, if somebody came up to me and said, I've got a nice plot for you, it's lovely and dry and it's only 10-minute walk from your house, I'd probably rip their hand off and start the transition, but there is nothing available. And it is a big ask to actually, you know, create another plot. It's something I'd like to do, but I'd transition over a season. I'd have one working while the other one's getting ready. I just find it's better to get a plot ready and then start. So yeah, this end of the fence was completely sort of laying down, so you know, it's just completely rotted off at the post now. You know, so it's just bits of wood I've sort of just pushed in to try and hold it up, just so it doesn't rip all of it down. But yeah, the whole lot, I mean, it's been up 11 years, this fence now. So I've done well out of it, but the last few years, probably the last 4 years, I've bodged it and all sorts, but it needs a good strip down. It's one of them times I need to put some funds into the plot to actually, you know, do the fencing. But like I say, it's quite a, it's not a few quid anyway, it's going to be a couple of £100 at least. So it's just getting that together, and because some jobs, I can do some jobs bit by bit, but some things like the fence I'll have to wait until I've got everything here, and I've got a couple of days with the weather on my side, and actually just have a couple of long days, maybe get my brother-in-law down if he's watching. Mike, if you're up for it in summertime, come and give us a lift, put this fence up. So yeah, just a quick update to show you how wet this plot is. If you're new to the channel, those of you who've followed me for years will know it's not the best sort of soil quality. You know, I mean, the raised bed there, it's actually the soil's sort of eroded away, so I can see underneath the bed. But nevertheless, I've not topped them up, so I need to top them up at some point. But I'm not actually going to come back down here now for probably about a month. I'll see what the weather does. If we get like a dry spell, I might come and start knocking the tops off these and having a tidy up ready. But I've got basically till middle of April, so what's that, sort of about 80 days max to get this ground all ready, beds topped up, ready to plant into. The fence and that will follow that. I had to kick my gate open because obviously all this fence was leaning towards me. So it's not great, but it's just the way it goes, and it's this time of year I need to get on with it really, but it's just too wet. So just a quick update from the wet plot. So it's starting to spit with rain now, so I'm going to get off. So take care, thanks for watching now, I'll see you next time. See you now, bye bye.